Hi everyone, welcome back. So today's video is going to be all about my eyebrows. I'm going to be showing you my everyday eyebrow routine, and this is going to be specifically for dry, sparse eyebrows, and I'm also going to be showing you some products that have helped my eyebrows over the years. So with all that said, let's go ahead and get started with today's video. Before I jump into the whole routine, I'm going to show you guys the products that have helped my eyebrows over the years, and yeah, so I have three here that I'm going to show you guys. So the first one is one that I always talk about, and I also mention this in my dry skin makeup routine, foundation routine, and it is the Cetaphil lotion. It just looks like this. I've been using this now for about 2 years, and I've noticed a huge difference in my skin. And what I also like about it is it's not a very heavy lotion, and it doesn't feel too oily as well, so that's another thing that I like about this. And it's also fragrance free, which to me is a huge deal. So definitely this is something that has helped my eyebrows and has improved them somewhat. Alright, so the next thing I just mentioned in my March favorites, and it is the Yes to Cucumbers Sensitive Skin Daily Calming Moisturizer. You just put this on after you wash your face and all of that, so it just looks like this. And honestly, I've only been using this for a few weeks, and I'm already noticing a huge difference in my skin. I've mentioned in my favorites video that I was using these products a while ago, and then I just stopped using them, and now I'm picking them up. Yes, two products are so good for you, and they're also cruelty free, which again is a huge thing for me. And this just, it smells so natural and so fresh, so this is definitely a must. And then another thing that I've mentioned also in a previous video is this Correct Essential Ointment by doTERRA, and it just looks like this. I'm sorry if you guys can't see it too well, and honestly this is amazing. It has improved my eyebrows so much. I know you still see like maybe some, I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but you can still see some redness, and I get that every now and then, but overall how my eyebrows were 6-7 months ago, there is a drastic change. And I know how difficult it is to have dry eyebrows, especially with them losing hair and becoming really sparse. It's very difficult, and especially for me. I do have to build up my eyebrows still a little bit, which is why sometimes, you know, like I always say, your eyebrows are not twins, they're sisters. So it's just a big thing for me, and I know how hard it can be to have sparse, dry eyebrows. I know the feelings that you get with it, so I wanted to make this video to be able to help you guys with that. So these three products, I promise you guys, I live by them. I will link them all down below for you guys. If you guys want me to go more in depth with how I maintain them and all of that good stuff, I will most definitely do that. This is something that I do before I apply my eyebrow kit and all of that good stuff, is a little bit of Vaseline. Not only does it keep the eyebrow hairs in place, but it also moisturizes around the area. So good old petroleum jelly is also a good thing. And then I'm just going to walk you guys through the products that I use for my eyebrows. Again, this can change, so these are just the ones that I've been loving recently. So to start off, this is the eyebrow gel, and I can't honestly even read this. I think it's by Maybelline, but this is a really good eyebrow gel. I did have the Benefit Brow, but I ran out of it, and I've just been too lazy to get it, so I just went to the grocery store, the drugstore. And honestly, this is a very good one. I've mentioned before that most days I'll just wear it like this, just with the eyebrow gel, and walk out the door, and my eyebrows look great. And then the next thing is kind of new to me, is the NYX Eyebrow, and it just looks like this. It's the gel, and it's waterproof, which is another thing, and it says it's also long lasting, which is true. But this is definitely a must, especially because it's a thicker consistency. You can build it up, especially for sparse brows. You can really build up the brow that you want to make. And then another one is another drugstore product, and it is the e.l.f. Eyebrow Kit. And I've mentioned this many times, and it just looks like that. Oops. And honestly, this is another amazing product. Very buildable as well. So if you want to build up those brows, or if you want to or if you want to keep them kind of light, this is another good product for that. And that's what I like more about the gels, is with sparse brows, I feel like you can build it up a little bit more than with the powder. And I feel like with this, you can actually define the brow that you want. So yeah, with all of that said, we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna walk you guys through my whole brow routine, and I hope that you guys can get some tips and tricks, and I hope that I can help you guys out with this, because I know how difficult it can be to have dry, sparse brows. So, alright, so we're gonna go ahead and get started, and here I am with no eyebrows. So I don't know if you guys can tell, but this eyebrow here is the sparsest one. I have to build this one up a lot, so sometimes they may not end up looking exactly alike, but it's okay. So I'm going to show you guys basically what I do. So the first thing after I apply like my moisturizer and all of that, I apply a little bit of Cetaphil, and then I put my correct ointment here. And I usually like to focus the ointment around the brow, because for me, my brows have gotten better. It used to be the whole brow was very flaky, just it was horrible, and now it's just certain areas around, so that's where I like to focus this ointment. So now that I have all of that set, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm just going to brush my eyebrows so I can get the shape that I want. And then now, as I said before, I'm going to use a little bit of that petroleum jelly, and I'm just going to use a tiny bit, and I'm just going to lightly go over my brows and just brush them into the shape, or yeah, brush them into the shape that I want. So to start off, your eyebrow is going to start here, and then you make a point here, and then you make a point right there. So it's 1, 2, 3 to create the arch, and then to create the nice little winged edge there, and then right at the beginning with the powder, is I usually I outline the shape that I want. So I'll just go ahead and start. So 1, I'll start at that point, and then 2, I'll create the arch that I want, and I'll kind of build in the shape that I want here. And then you go here and you create that nice little edge here. So now it's kind of coming along. This one I do have some hard time with, because like I just said, it's the sparsest one, and it's the one that has less shape. So that's why I always do this one first, so I can at least have something to go on. So again, you start right at the beginning. And this one, I don't know if you guys can see, but right up here, there's a line of hair missing. So I have to kind of create that illusion that the actual hair is there. So usually this can take me up to a few minutes, this brow. So just light strokes, and then I'm going to create the arch that isn't there because the hair is gone. And then just create that nice tip. Right now, I still have to build up the top of that because it's so sparse that there's like nothing up there. And then I have to go down here because there's also like little to no hair. Alright. So now that we're done with the eyebrow kit, the next thing that I do is from the eyebrow kit, I apply a little bit of the powder just in the areas that are the sparsest. So like here, right here at the arch, and then of course like I said up here, and then just a little bit here, is to go in with the gel. And I usually don't go really intense with the gel. I just use a little bit to continue to outline the shape that I want. Again, it's all about the shape. It's all about building up that brow that isn't there. So for me, I work a little bit harder with this one, and I try to follow the shape of this one. So with this, a little goes a long way, I mean. So try to just use a little bit, because I learned that the hard way. And I just dip my brush in, and then I just outline the top of it. Right, so then now I'm going to move on with the gel with the other brow. So then now what I do to usually clean up the brow is a Q-tip. So usually I just clean up like around the arch, and I make that edge tip nice and sharp, and then building up more of an arch with the Q-tip here. Alright, so then now to basically set everything, we're going to go in with our eyebrow gel. It's the L'Oreal one. There we go. This one is really good for a drugstore product. So I'm just going to go in with this eyebrow gel, and I'm just going to lightly go over the brow. Alright, and then I'm going to go in one more time with my little spoolie. Actually, I'm going to get this one here. Lightly brush over it. So this is the finished product with my brows. I'm really happy with them. Like I said, I'm still learning every day. I'm fairly new to eyebrows. I think I've only been doing eyebrows for about 7 months. I only started really getting into eyebrows when I noticed that they were really sparse and they were dry, and a lot of it, like when I did my previous video talking about my health and things like that, what the thyroid also does is it makes your eyebrow hair fall out. So when I got really sick, I almost had like no eyebrows, so that's when I was like, okay, that's enough, you know, I gotta start building them up. So I just learned along the way. These are things that work for me, and I thought I would just help you guys out, because same thing with like the dry skin foundation routine. I know how hard it is, guys, to have dry skin, to have sparse eyebrows. I know how difficult it can be to find a routine that can work with that and find products that won't worsen it. So I know exactly what the struggle is, and I just want to be able to help you guys out with it as much as I can. I can certainly show you guys what's been working for me. And yeah, so I really hope that this helped you guys a little bit. If you guys want me to go more in depth of how I maintain them, other than, you know, my eyebrow routine, as to, you know, ointments that I use, things like that, I can do that as well. But yeah, I'm really happy with how they came out. Every day I feel like they are getting better and better. Every day I feel like I'm learning a little bit better with how to kind of put my eyebrows together. And yeah, so again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this week's videos, and I will see you guys next week. Bye, guys.
Oh my gosh. Shh, that didn't happen.